Louisville shooter attacks the bank where he had been employed.
Texas court ruling on abortion pill starts nationwide protests.
President Biden's kicked off a 150-year-old Easter tradition.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV Nightly News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Sean Smith.
And I'm Jordan Weir. Developing tonight, Louisville police say 4 people were killed and 8 injured following a mass shooting at a downtown bank. The shooter was pronounced dead at the scene, and police say there is no active threat to the community. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez has the latest.
Terrifying moments in downtown Louisville. Police say they received the report of an active shooter at Old National Bank Monday morning.
I got a call from my wife, panicking that she was locked in the vault.
Caleb Goodlett says his wife works there.
Just a very traumatic phone call to get right at 8:30.
Shaken but grateful for the quick response from police.
Within 3 minutes of being dispatched, officers arrived on scene and encountered the suspect. At least 2 officers were shot during this exchange of gunfire.
Leaders praising Louisville Metro Police for their heroic actions.
Without a doubt, their actions saved lives.
We certainly saw, I think, the very best from them today.
A law enforcement source confirms the gun used was an AR-15 style rifle.
We believe this is a lone gunman involved in this that did have a connection to the bank.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear says he lost 2 close friends in the shooting.
This is awful. Our bodies and our minds are not meant to go through these types of tragedies.
He's asking the community to unite around the families impacted.
You watch the news, you see everything go down. You think of how you would handle this situation if it arose within your family.
In Louisville, Kentucky, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Students at the University of Oklahoma had a scare over the weekend after the university took to Twitter to alert students of an active shooter on campus. The university tweeted this emergency alert Friday night at 9:24 p.m. after the police department received a call reporting shots fired at the library on campus. The tweet reads, quote, "There is an active shooter at the Van Vliet Oval. Take immediate action now. Run, hide, fight." Nearly 90 minutes after the first alert, the university tweeted that no threat had been found and gave an all clear. In fact, it was a hoax. ntTV's Maddie Myers has more. Maddie.
That's right, Sean. Over 100 officers arrived at the scene Friday night after receiving several calls and emails that there was an active shooter on campus. Now, what makes this scene so different from many swatting cases that we've seen in the past is that all of these calls were received from outside of the United States. Now, officers were dispatched to the area, and after searching the area for several hours, they found no evidence of a shooting and ruled it a hoax. Well, what is swatting? Swatting occurs when false calls are made to law enforcement to trigger a large response. It also pulls first responder resources away from other possible emergencies. Swatting incidents generate fear and panic and can be very dangerous as officers often enter with force and guns drawn. Unfortunately, universities have been heavily targeted in these crimes. Similar false calls took place recently at Clemson University, Wake Forest University, Boston University, and Harvard. Now, according to the FBI, this investigation is still ongoing. That's all I have for now. Back to you all at the desk.
Thank you, Maddie. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is pushing the state's parole board to recommend a pardon for former U.S. Army Sergeant Daniel Perry for the killing of Garrett Foster, who was a protester during a Black Lives Matter demonstration in 2020. Perry shot and killed Foster with his handgun after Foster reportedly pointed his assault rifle at Perry. The weapons were legally owned by both parties. Prosecutors claim that Perry instigated the shooting, while Perry's defense claims that the shooting was in self-defense. Via Texas's Stand Your Ground law, the Texas jury did not buy the self-defense argument and issued a guilty verdict for Perry's murder charge. ntTV will continue to monitor this story as updates become available.
A leak of highly classified documents from the Pentagon have recently made their rounds on social media. Some of the documents, which officials say are authentic, expose the extent of U.S. spying in addition to key information regarding the war in Ukraine. CNN's Gloria Pazmino has more.
An interagency effort is underway This level of breach is significant.
To determine the authenticity and impact of dozens of leaked Pentagon documents that were posted online in recent weeks.
If there's 50 classified documents, there's 50 separate stories that are going to impact on the ground in Ukraine right now.
The information contained in the documents reveals the depths of U.S. spying on allies and foes alike.
Number one, the most important thing we have are our sources, and number two are our allies. And when those are both put in jeopardy, that makes us less secure and it makes our enemies more emboldened.
Some of the documents, which officials say are authentic, expose the extent of U.S. eavesdropping on allies, including South Korea, Israel, and Ukraine. Others seem to divulge key weaknesses in Ukrainian weaponry and military readiness, while some show the degree to which the U.S. has penetrated the Russian Ministry of Defense.
Its goal is to weaken our resolve, weaken our alliance.
But unlike previous intelligence leaks, U.S. officials believe some of the documents may have been altered.
These photos appear to show documents similar in format to those used to provide daily updates to our senior leaders on Ukraine and Russia. Some of these images appear to have been altered.
ntTV will continue to provide updates to the intelligence community's reports.
Jordan, do you know the brightest day of the week is Sunday?
But it's Monday, so either we missed a day or we have 6 more days to go till the next Sunday.
Either way, it's my favorite day of the week. Let's take it over to Peter Rabel for more weather, hopefully more Sundays.
Thanks so much, Sean and Jordan. And yeah, unfortunately, when I woke up, I was hoping it would be Sunday, but it is a cloudy day. Those clouds came in. I knew it had to have been a Monday. It was 73 degrees outside today. It's cooling down a little bit, but it was a pretty nice day outside today. That was partially because of our 7-mile-an-hour winds, just keeping everything moving, feeling cool. As we move into tonight, though, it's going to get down to 56. So you might want to have a light jacket on. Those clouds are going to move away. It's going to clear up tonight. 8-mile-an-hour winds going to feel about the same as far as that goes. And then moving into tomorrow, it's going to stay clear. It's going to get just a little warmer tomorrow at 75. 6-mile-an-hour winds, not going to be too much. It's going to feel a lot like it felt today, just without those clouds there. So keep that in mind as you move into the week. We'll look more at what's ahead later in the show, but for now, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Peter. Up next, people are in an uproar after Texas's court ruling on Friday.
And how climate change might be changing baseball in the future. Stay with us.
Can I see your voter registration, please? All right, you're good. No registration, no entry. All right. Let me see your voter registration card, please.
I'm not registered to vote.
No registration, no entry.
Dude, my friends are already in there.
No registration, no entry.
What the?
Join the club. Register to vote today.
I'm here to rescue you.
Oh, my friends.
No so fast.
This story is going to be awesome.
Has the weight of stress and anxiety ever felt too heavy to overcome? Wish there was a safe place to confide in? Wish granted. At UNT, we offer counseling and testing services to students located on the 3rd floor of Chestnut Hall. UNT, we're here for you.
national legal, medical, and political ripple effects widened this week after Texas judge's abortion drug ruling this past Friday. It centers around the drug mifepristone, which is one of 2 drugs commonly used in the U.S. to administer abortions. It has been stamped as safe and effective by the Food and Drug Administration for over 20 years. In addition, the controversial case appears likely to go to the Supreme Court nearly 1 year after justices overturned Roe v. Wade. CNN's Lauren Aguirre has more on this case and its potential impact.
The Texas ruling, which would suspend the FDA's long-standing approval of the abortion drug mifepristone, is only one part of an increasingly complicated legal tug-of-war.
We have this other case in Washington, which is essentially finding exactly the opposite of what this extremist judge in Texas has found.
The Washington ruling Friday protects the use of the abortion drug in 17 states and the District of Columbia, among them Connecticut. And the message there was clear Monday.
Medication abortion is in Connecticut legal, safe, effective, and available, period, full stop.
The Biden administration vowing to use all legal means to fight the Texas ruling.
The president's made the commitment. We're going to use every available resource to protect a woman's right to reproductive health care.
South Carolina Republican Nancy Mace says her beliefs are pro-life, but also common sense.
90% of America is somewhere in the middle. And I think that 90% would be okay with listening to the FDA rather than a judge.
As the legal appeals to Friday's Texas ruling advance this week, Representative Mace has a political appeal to her GOP colleagues.
We are getting it wrong on this issue. We've got to show some compassion to women, especially women who've been raped, because by and large, most of Americans aren't with us on this issue.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
The Texas judge gave 1 week for legal appeals to be filed to his ruling. Danco, the company that manufactures this drug, is currently seeking to halt this ruling, which would revoke FDA approval on the drug. An attorney for Danco says they plan to ask the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals today for a temporary administrative stay, giving the court more time to consider the filing, or they can stay the ruling entirely, which would mean the pill remains on the market. Their attorney also says if the stay isn't granted, then the company will likely appeal the case to the U.S. Supreme Court. The Justice Department says it too has asked the Fifth Circuit Court for a stay on behalf of the FDA. Mifepristone has been taken by more than 5 million women and is currently used in half the abortions in the United States. Meanwhile, the Friday court ruling ignited a storm of protests across the nation, with Americans on both sides of the issue. Carrying signs that abortion is health care, people in states as varied as Florida, Georgia, and Massachusetts took to the streets calling on the courts to overturn the Texas ruling. One state is stockpiling doses of the drug and expanding access to the drug in that state, as some states are trying to criminalize more aspects of abortion availability. Others are setting up more opportunities and safeguards for women. The next step will likely be a request by the Supreme Court to hear the case.
Well, it seems like states aren't the only thing that have been fighting back. Winter is not going down easy.
Ain't that the truth? Luckily, we replaced our old weatherman with a new one, so that shouldn't be a problem anymore. Let's take it over to Peter Rabel for more.
Thanks again, guys. Yeah, let's look at our region across North Texas here. We've got some pretty meandering temperatures right now. 70 degrees in Paris and Sulphur Springs over here in the west, and then mid-70s, low 70s here in Denton, McKinney, and Dallas. So everything feels pretty even across North Texas right now. It is 75 in Graham, just a little bit warmer. So you've got some variation across the map here. But if we look at our region, you'll see our one big outlier here in North Texas, or across Texas, excuse me, as we look at our larger map here, is going to be El Paso at 83 out there when we get that up for you. In the meantime, look again here at Denton, North Texas. Thank you very much. Oklahoma City, 73. We got 70 over in Shreveport in Louisiana. So there's some variations across the map there. But Importantly, I want to point out El Paso is a little bit warmer than everywhere else right now. They had to hit a bit of a heat wave over the weekend here. Excuse me. And then 76 in Abilene, 77 in Amarillo. So a little bit warmer in the west over there than in the east. But let's look at our 7-day forecast right now. I want to look at what it'll be here in Denton. Here at the beginning of as the week goes on, we will see mid and high 70s on Tuesday through Thursday here. 75, 77. We'll have lows in the low 50s, so it'll be pretty nice when you wake up, and it'll warm up throughout the day. I do want to point out also here on Friday, as we move on to the rest of the week, you're going to see 81. It's going to get kind of warm right there and a little bit humid as we got a chance of rain coming in the early weekend there, but that'll go away by Saturday and Sunday. It's going to clear up again. So prepare for that Texas wet heat as we move towards the end of the week. It's going to feel a little bad out probably, but it'll clear up and then it'll be cooling down a little bit. It'll be very nice when we come back. But that's all I have for weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Peter. So glad we finally have some good weather. And you know what good weather is a good excuse for? Shopping. I don't know about you, Sean, but I love showing off my favorite outfits to all my friends.
Well, I'm not a huge fashion guy myself. I do have an elephant tie today. But luckily, our Seen and Heard anchor, Tristan Van Beem, has a story that's right up your fashionista alley. Tristan.
That's right, Sean. Last week I told you about an annual fashion show that takes place right here in our own UNT ballroom. I had the opportunity to speak with creative students who love flaunting their inner model. Let's take a look at what I learned on this week's Seen and Heard. Last Saturday, I covered a fashion show hosted by Merchandising Inc. and our very own UNT students. After talking to a couple of participants, it was shocking to hear some students spent weeks preparing and designing their outfits. One model in this show expressed the meaning and significance of these shows.
I just think this is a great outlet for people to get into the industry, and honestly, this has helped so many people become confident and creative. And, you know, to me, I just want everyone to feel comfortable in their own skin and, you know, be out there, just be the best version of themselves. So that's what it means to me.
Many friends and relatives were in attendance, and the crowd roared with enthusiasm for every model that strutted down the runway with beauty and elegance. While some people believe that a picture can tell 1,000 words, others feel that clothing can tell so much more.
Just find out everything that you enjoy. Find out what you're comfortable wearing. Find out what you like to do. Your hobbies can go into it. You can literally do anything with clothes. You have complete creative freedom. And it really gives you the sense of finding yourself and finding out who you truly are. So just don't be afraid to have people's eyes on you. Don't be afraid to get out there. Just fall in love with yourself.
I was truly inspired by my fellow students' courage. Everyone in the show displayed a great attitude, and I could see the emotion that each model felt. It was almost like they were telling me their life story only by using eye contact. If you missed this year's show, be on the lookout for the same time next year so you can experience it for yourself. And speaking of people with great fashion sense, today's the day to see TV celebrity and published author Jeanette McCurdy. She is finally here on our campus, and ntTV's Olivia Thompson has the scoop. Olivia?
That's right, Tristan. The full line of eager students who are excited to hear Jeanette McCurdy speak about her memoir just filed into the UNT Coliseum. The UNT Distinguished Lecture Series is known for bringing a variety of singers, dancers, actors, authors, and so much more right here to the Mean Green homeland. And this evening at 7 p.m. here at the UNT Coliseum, the student body will be welcoming Jeanette McCurdy with open arms. The infamous child actor is best known for her role as Sam in the Nickelodeon sitcom called iCarly. However, recently, she's known for her writing expertise as she has a memoir titled I'm Glad My Mom Died, which reigned as the New York Times #1 bestseller for an 8 consecutive week period. Now today, she will be talking with students about her inspiration behind the memoir and hopefully inspire students and kind of teach them how to persevere through harsh family relationships.
All UNT students can enjoy an evening with McCurdy free of charge. Any student guest will be charged $5. UNT faculty, alumni, and staff will be charged $10, and general admission is $15. You can purchase these tickets at www.untuniontickets.com. Now, we're almost about 30 minutes out from the event, so I'm going to go grab my seat. So back to you both at the desk.
Thanks, Olivia. You will have to see it to believe it. You can now get married in a wacky vehicle.
Jordan, that is unbelievable. But I might have something even more unbelievable. See which animal was given a police badge last week.
Has the weight of stress and anxiety ever felt too heavy to overcome? Wish there was a safe place to confide in? Wish granted. At UNT, we offer counseling and testing services to students located on the 3rd floor of Chestnut Hall. UNT, we're here for you.
Did you know you have access to video equipment like DVDs, video games, and cameras? That's right, you do. Come on down to Chilton Library and fulfill your media dream. Located on the bottom floor next to the student sculpture. Hope to see you there soon. Hey girl, you know you look good. I like the way you move and groove. I'm not sure.
I'm here to rescue you.
Oh, my friends.
No sofas.
This story's going to be awesome.
President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden kicked off the White House's annual Easter egg roll earlier today. The event will feature fun educational events for children of all ages, including a talent show and a field trip to the farm. Special guests include Olympic gold medalist gymnast Dominique Dawes, popular Sesame Street characters, and members of the NFL's Philadelphia Eagles. The annual egg roll is a long-standing White House tradition that dates back to the 1870s, with 30,000 visitors expected to attend this year. The event remains one of the only times of the year that the White House's South Lawn is open to members of the public who want to experience all of the fun and excitement the egg roll has to offer. An abandoned bunny has found a new home and a new job with the California Police Department. His name is Percy, and he plays a critical role in helping officers decompress. CNN's Ashley Sharp has a tale on this story.
At the Yuba City Police Department, the tulips are in full bloom, the sun is shining, spring has sprung, literally.
Come here, buddy.
So much so, you might think the Easter Bunny came early. But this is no candy-toting holiday rabbit. This is Percy, or Officer Hops.
This idea came as kind of a joke, and it's really caught on.
After all, he's a bunny with a job to do.
I just love how soft he is. I think that's what I love the most.
His official title, Wellness Officer with the Yuba City Police Department, an outlet for stress for officers and staff who see a lot of bad.
Being able to hold him, pet him, and just kind of step back from that situation for a minute, regroup is vital.
A push department-wide for a focus on mental health came in 2022, and along came this therapeutic thumper. It all started when Officer Ashley Carson found him abandoned while on a call.
I started to call him, and I said, "Here, bud." And he came running up to me, and he stood on his hind legs, and I picked him up.
She took him to the animal shelter, and after a few weeks with no family found, department staffer Chelsea McCready adopted him and gave Percy not just a home, but an office.
He just hangs out in here. He kind of free roams.
Percy comes to work with Chelsea every day, even working some shifts too when she's not here.
We're seeing the long-term benefits of it already in even just a short amount of time.
A cop with hops.
He's a great little furry friend.
A bunny that doesn't come once a year,
I go in and see him every chance I get.
but daily to do an important job.
A massive jackpot is up for grabs tonight as the Texas Lottery has hit $63.75 million. If you were to win the drawing tonight, don't expect to bring home the entire amount though. Winners opting to take the cash value option would receive approximately $30.09 million after federal taxes. Lottery officials say to check your ticket as more prizes are available than just the jackpot. If your ticket is a winner, officials say sign the ticket and keep it safe. Next week, financial and legal advice, and then call the Texas Lottery to schedule an appointment to claim your prize. The lottery will climb to over $64 million if no winner is announced Monday night. It seems the only lottery isn't the only thing you can win a jackpot, as more baseball players are hitting home runs. Let's learn more as to why that is from our live reporter, Alejandra Becerra. Alejandra.
Baseball players appear to be hitting more home runs these days, and there are several theories as to why. Many say it could be due to improved training or improvements in the game itself. However, doctoral student Christopher Callahan proposes a different explanation: global warming. Warm air is less dense than cold air, allowing objects like baseballs to travel further. Warmer air has contributed to an extra 50 home runs per year. Callahan analyzed statistics from more than 100,000 games and weather conditions from 2010 through 2019. According to Callahan, if Major League Baseball wishes to reduce this effect, games could be shifted to the evening or early morning hours. That's all I have for now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Speaking of home runs, Amanda, does this mean that we're going to be seeing more home runs in softball?
Plus Masters and more when we return.
Can I see your voter registration, please? All right, you're good. No registration, no entry. All right. Let me see your voter registration card, please.
I'm not registered to vote.
No registration, no entry.
Dude, my friends are already in there.
No registration, no entry.
What the?
Join the club. Register to vote today.
What does Talents do?
So I am the Vice President of External Relations for Talents. That means that I basically oversee all the external committees. Our external committees entail our Model A, it's a Mean Green Machine. So they bring it to football games especially, so every game it's kind of there, every home game. The Model A is like a symbol of UNC pride, and it's a big tradition that we are so lucky to uphold and maintain. When people look at it, they see it, and they're like, oh, that's the Mean Green Machine. There must be a game today or something to ramp up school spirit for basketball, softball, volleyball, any of those things. We have amazing teams, so we just want to show school spirit for them. Bonfire Committee, which is in charge of putting together the bonfire every year for homecoming. It's kind of just a whole semester-long process up until Build Week that we have to put together and oversee and make sure safety regulations are followed and risk management is taken care of. Cannon Crew, which oversees and takes care of the cannon. They fire it at games, they take it to special occasions.
The 87th Masters tournament wrapped up on Sunday, and things didn't quite go as according to plan.
Weather cut Friday and Saturday short with trees falling as a result of storms in the area, and LIV finishers like Brooks Koepka and Phil Mickelson in the top spots. But when it was all said and done, it was Jon Rahm being helped into a green jacket of his own, finishing 14 under par with the help of a 3-over finish in the last round from Brooks Koepka. The Mavs lost their last 2 games of the season, one in dramatic fashion against the Chicago Bulls on Friday with a score of 115 to 112. This has led to an investigation being opened by the NBA as the Mavericks decided to bench players. They had an incentive to lose on Friday while their playoff hopes were technically still alive, and a loss would have secured the top 10 protected first-round pick. On the cusp of the play-in tournament, choosing to rest star players is a bit out of the ordinary, but coach Jason Kidd claims that the decision comes from ownership. The Mavericks finished 38-43 on the season. UNT softball swept the Miners of UTEP over the weekend, putting up 6 runs on Thursday and Friday and tacking on 1 more for Saturday. Friday's matchup saw junior pitcher Mackenzie Wagner throw a complete game and go 2 for 3 at the plate with a home run, being the first Mean Green player to record a win in a multi-hit game since Jenna Goodrich in 2019. They're 24-16 on the season and 9-6 in conference, which is good for 4th in Conference USA. The party at the Lace will continue this weekend as first place Charlotte comes to Denton. That's all I have for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Amanda. All that talk about softball really got me hungry. I could really go for a hot dog.
Well, speaking of hot dogs, have you ever wanted to get married in a Wienermobile? For a limited time, you can. Oscar Mayer says it will host weddings in its first Wienermobile of love coming this weekend. And where else would the event take place but Las Vegas? The company says couples can book a 30-minute spot online or joining the waitlist if demand is too high. They should come with a valid Las Vegas wedding license. Oscar Mayer says it will foot the on-site bill, provide a photographer, and even have hot doggers on hand to serve as witnesses.
I'm sure hot dog fans everywhere will relish this moment if they get to experience this opportunity. Thanks for joining us on ntTV Nightly News.
Catch up with us again tomorrow at noon and tomorrow evening at 6 here on North Texas Television.